And we're back on another exciting episode of Starfleet Boy, where we have a casual and informal discussion about Star Trek: The Next Generation.
You know, back when I was in the academy, we would follow every toast with a song. She's better to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all. Cheer up, my eyes, cheer up, my eyes. She's better to have loved and lost.
And there it is.
The one and only.
I hope we're allowed to do that, but that credit goes to Pogo.
Exactly.
Genius.
I'm pretty sure he will be blessed.
Anyways, that was being played off of the ship's computer here.
Very well. Some old Centurion documentary from somewhere.
Gary, it's nice to see you.
It's nice to see you too. It's nice to be back again.
Yes, it's nice to have you back. So today, very fittingly, you are here to help me talk about the episode Ménage Troi. I almost said it wrong. Ménage Troi, which is a Lwaxana Troi centric episode. Now, I think I said that you would be doing the summary for the next episode. Are you prepared?
No, not at all.
Well, try. You gotta try. I'm
gonna try anyway.
How can I promote you from acting ensign to a full commissioned officer if you don't try?
Well, I don't know that. I'm already lieutenant, so how we can...
No, you're captain. Captain Gary.
Captain
Yes.
of my ship, yes, but not on your ship. I'm just like, I don't even know.
It's like the two doctors, the two captains. It can happen.
True.
Yeah.
All right, I'll try. But I think I'll be short and sweet. So Ménage Troi, and basically we have a scenario when there's a conference in Betazed, and obviously the Enterprise is there, and lots of delegates having a sort of
peace conference.
Yes, they have like a peace conference.
It's the G20. It's the G20 of Star Trek.
Although with one exception.
No, I think he showed up. Daimon Tog.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, face of Daimon Tog. That's true. And he respected women too. Sorry, that was a bad joke. So yeah, there's a conference placed in the Enterprise D, and there's Betazeds and Algonians and the Ferengis is invited too, which is quite surprising because they are not really like diplomats or something. They are more traders. And obviously we see Lwaxana Troi. She's on the temp forward with Diana, and Diana sort of has she has a rough time coping with her mother. It's always been a bit. I mean, that's what I actually. So they love each other, obviously, but the mother-daughter relationship was always a bit iffy from their side. So they having a conversation, and then Daimon Tog, the Ferengi captain, sort of get attracted to Troi, and he wanted to get her, and he wanted to offer her a position as a business associate, but he also found herself really attractive. Obviously, Lwaxana Troi was so repulsive and repellent towards this little guy, and she even made a scene in Term Forward. So later on, Riker got a sort of permission to go for a holiday to Betazed, and obviously with Diana. So they ended up in Betazed, while the Enterprise was going to. I'm not really sure about the system where they were going to, but they actually went to rendezvous with the USS Bradbury to transport Crusher, Will Wheaton, to USS Bradbury, who will take oral exams in the Starfleet Academy. So everything is going fine. The Enterprise is going to their mission, and in Betazed, obviously Riker and Deanna has like old memories relived, and then they find Mr. Holm and Lwaxana Troi as well in the same romantic spot. Daimon Tog appears, interestingly enough, just out of nowhere, and he really wants to get together and get associated with Lwaxana. Obviously, she still denies everything. She's still just so repellent towards this guy, and Daimon Tog kidnap everyone. So all four of them end up in the Kraton, the Ferengi ship, this beautiful Ferengi ship.
Oh, let's see that again. Sorry.
Yeah, so this is the Kraton, the Ferengi Marauder.
Very nice.
If you're on YouTube, you can see it. If you're on podcast, you should Google it. But I'm pretty sure everyone familiar with the
from Eagle Moss.
The Ferengi. This is from Eagle Moss. Yes, exactly. Gives them some credit too.
Very nice.
So they've been kidnapped by Daimon Tog, and and he really wants to have Lwaxana as offering her service willingly to Daimon Tog, but Lwaxana denies everything. Although, in terms of because Tog basically made a remark, okay, you must cooperate, otherwise, just for the sake of your safety of your daughter. So she kind of go into the play. She tried to give everyone, Riker and Troi, more time as possible, while Riker has a chess game with one of the Ferengi, and they basically he basically tricked the Ferengi to get out from the holding cell. So they weren't able to enter the ship communication system because they need Tog code, but then Lwaxana wasn't able to get it because Dr. Farrak, I think. Farrak? Yeah, that was
Ethan Phillips.
Ethan Phillips, who later on played Neelix in Star Trek Voyager. Yep. So he interrupts Daimon Tog while he's giving away his code, and he also suggesting, okay, let just me examine the Betazoid female, and I might be able to figure out what's the brain sequence that makes her brain being telepathic, and they can sell the technology as well, and they can make more profit. So Daimon Tog goes into the decision, and basically Lwaxana being interrogated with medical equipment, while Riker figures out a way to send some hidden message in the subspace disturbance.
The Cochrane field.
Yes, the Cochrane
field or something.
Exactly.
Like the Cochrane device.
The Cochrane device.
Plot device. Go on.
So the Enterprise, meanwhile, was finishing the examination of this nebula, and obviously the Bradbury is there, and they really want to get Mr. Crusher on board. But then Wesley recognizes something in the signal when they were looking. Oh, hang on. Oh yeah, but actually, I figured I just missed the part when the Prime Minister calls the Enterprise, like, okay, Riker and Deanna and Lwaxana just disappeared from the planet. So actually, they end up going back to Betazed, and they try to figure out, okay, what's happened, and then Wesley notices this. It's
stuck in my head since I was a child. It's like so weird.
So Wesley just
That's basically what Riker does.
Wow. Yeah, so he hides this he hides this message in this Cochrane device, and Wesley was just about to transport to the USS Bradbury while he just recognized the signal. So he goes back to the bridge, and they actually been able to figure out where's the Craton is. So they go after the Craton, and obviously Riker went to rescue Lwaxana in the Craton, and Lwaxana, just to keep everyone safe, and basically she offers herself willingly to Daimon Tog. The Enterprise arrives. Obviously, they return back Riker and Diana, but not Lwaxana. Although Lwaxana appears on the screen, and she's sort of going to a play where she really wants Captain Picard to to get off from her case because they are not together anymore. And then Diana figures out this is just a trickery to get her back in a way. So Captain Picard goes into a really romantic and not patriotic. It's a really romantic way to get her back. So he starts to act like he's jealous. He's even start to
It's better to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all.
a plug to Rose.
Very good. But Patrick Stewart hamming it
Yeah,
up. Beautiful.
Exactly. So they managed to get back. So Patrick Stewart, Captain Picard managed to get back Lwaxana Troi from the Ferengi, and he orders Mr. Crusher to go back to Betazed in the maximal speed possible, warp 9. So they go back to Betazed. Obviously, the situation is solved, and the Wesley Crusher, because he wasn't able to go to the Bradbury and go to the exam to the Starfleet Academy, so Captain Picard thought, okay, is not right, because you did so much for the ship, and from now on you won't be just practitioner ensign, so you will be a fully promoted ensign with all the ranks and privileges. So he got promoted as an ensign in the Enterprise for 1 more year. And that's the end of the story.
Yay! Good job.
So how was it?
You were extremely thorough. I was like, whoa, that's like... So you got it. You nailed it. That was awesome.
I just watched the episode. I didn't even do anything else.
Yeah,
so I'm ready for the next time too.
Very nice. That was a very nice summary. I liked it a lot. I have a question about your shirt. I just see a little bit of it peeking out, but is that a Star Trek Discovery shirt?
Nope.
No, what is it?
Just a random Star Trek. Live long and prosper. And with a Vulcan salute. Nothing fancy.
That's quite fancy. I love it. And I remarked before we started recording, I remarked about your hair, and you had a very cool answer. So I thought your hair looked different today. And
yes, it's the Chekhov style.
The Pavel Chekhov style.
60s Chekhov style, just to be specific.
I dig it. It's pretty awesome. If I had hair, I would do the same thing. It's pretty cool.
Sometimes you could be Picard.
Well, yeah. Sometimes I do have hair on Starfleet Boy. Sometimes I don't. Just depends. Sometimes I have facial hair. Sometimes I don't. It's a weird chronicle of my grooming habits on Starfleet Boy.
I have to get rid of it. This weird sort of thing at one point as well, because I'm doing some other extra bits for, not for my channel, but I still have some other contribution to make.
So there was a thing I read online, and of course I realized it as well when I was watching it, but like Troi kisses Riker in the little garden in that one scene, and he has a beard, and in Star Trek is it Insurrection? She's like, I never kissed you with a beard before. So
yes,
she obviously forgot about this kiss.
And your answer is yuck.
So I really like this episode. I always find the Troi episodes great because they're humorous and they're intentionally funny and filled with gags. But this one I thought was especially funny because there was a little bit of adventure involved as well with the Ferengi. And yeah, I just thought the whole thing was a riot. I was laughing quite a bit when I was watching it, and I realized things that I haven't seen this episode too many times over the years, and so watching it now with a very hazy memory of it from before, I realized there's a lot of great gags that I probably didn't understand when I was a kid, but now I'm like, oh, that's pretty funny.
There's a couple of things that I was like thinking, it's like, why didn't I notice that before? Obviously, I was young and innocent, and I didn't really think that much about it. But now I kind of like, really, that happened, or that just was implied, or what? What's going on there?
There's a lot of innuendo. But it's part of Star Trek. I think there's always been a little bit of tongue in cheek and kind of that kind of innuendo based humor has been a part of Star Trek for a long time. So I like it. I appreciate it. And then of course this episode is famous for the Captain Picard, meme
Poetry
image and the poetry scene as well. And there's just a lot of good.
The funny thing is, because that not only Pogo but other music artists as well, they turn into that, and they turn that bit into music. And when he actually start to say the whole thing, the whole poetry, it just I can't listen to it anymore as a poetry. I always got the song in my mind. So it's like I'm listening to Captain Picard, I'm watching the episode, but it sounds like he's singing.
It's very meta because of course it's William Shakespeare, so which Patrick Stewart probably knows. He probably knows it by memory.
Being a Shakespearean actor.
Yeah, very, very good stuff. Other than that, though, what did you think of this episode? Like, what about you?
Well, you know me, I love Lwaxana Troi. We share a birthday and a birth month together, so I'm a special connection.
When's your birthday again?
I'm the 23rd of February. Now everyone knows. Gosh.
Now everyone knows. Good. And I just wrote it down.
Basically, I born in the same month and the same day as Major Barrett Roddenberry, but obviously with quite a few years difference. So yeah, I share my birthday with her.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, but apart from that, really, I always love her when she comes aboard the Enterprise, and even later on in DS9 as well. Like I think 2 times or once. But she went to DS9 as well. So I always loved her, and she's just such a blast in every episode. And in this one, she sort of really concerned about Diana, and they had this mother-daughter relation thingy going on. Like, okay, she really want to have Diana have kids and family, and they touch on a lot of interesting topics at the beginning of the episode when they have this dinner scene in the conference. Okay, why don't you do what everyone used to do, like have family, have kids, and just live your life? Because what you do is it's kind of fun, but it's not what you should think about me as well, because I might want grandchildren one day, or just become a grandma, and you just live in the Enterprise. You don't have any romance going on, and that's something that we used to get from society. I mean, I always used to hear from my grandma and my mother, like, say, why don't you want to have a girlfriend now, or you just just get a girlfriend and your family, and then just get the house and all the society. That's what society wants from us, basically, from young people, to live the same life as they did. But obviously, that's a different generation. We are the next generation.
Yeah. I don't think there's. I kind of am going to say that that's a little bit of a. I support you and your generation, but I think that it's a universal drive in all of us. At some point, whether we admit it to our parents or not, we also internally feel this drive to extend humanity, so to speak, and like.
No, I totally agree with it. I totally agree with you. It's the principle is you don't have to be reminded all the time.
This is true. You're absolutely
right. With my parents, I mean.
But that's what parents do. See, what I love about this episode is that, like, I agree, because, like, I feel that I have a similar relationship with my mom. In fact, it's possibly oh.
Oh,
we were just talking about our mothers, and you came on. This is great.
I've obviously arrived at the wrong time.
Well, there's not a lot going on in this episode, so it's one of those Starfleet Boys where we talk about a lot of other things. And then you show up, you just like the Doctor always does. It's just right in the nick of time to save us from ourselves.
Are we so dangerous for ourselves?
Doctor, just to give you an idea of what was going on, Gary gave an amazing summary for this episode.
He did. Oh, I'm looking forward to hearing it.
You're gonna have to hear it later.
First time ever.
And then we were just going over some of the scenes we both liked, and we were talking about. You probably didn't watch this episode. Okay, I thought so. There's a scene where Counselor Troi in 10 Forward, where Counselor Troi and Lwaxana are having a conversation, and Lwaxana is being very annoying to Deanna by speaking to her telepathically and, you know, calling her little one. And then it prompted us to talk about how our own parents are constantly trying to get us to get married and procreate and have children. And it's just like a constant, it's what Lwaxana is doing to Deanna in this episode. It's like a pretty universal experience. I would say that obviously there's probably some lucky young people out there whose parents don't do this to them, but for the most part, like, your mom and your dad, mostly your mom, is going to have an opinion about who you date, why aren't you married, where are my grandchildren. It's like in no particular order. And so that's when you popped in.
Yeah. Well, I watch Star Trek to get away from stuff like that. So I don't know why it's on Star Trek.
It's a great episode. It's a fun episode. It's a comedy.
Sure.
So if you think about that, basically they try to tell us get a life instead of just working too much. I don't know.
Are some of those posters new on the back of your wall there, Gary? Is that Star Trek 2 poster always been there?
Let's say it's never seen before, because I'm always in the wrong angle. Was in the wrong angle before.
Okay.
So I have a Back to the Future over there, Doctor Who, Star Trek Wrath of Khan. It's an A3 print.
I like that one of Beyond. That's a good one for Star Trek Beyond. I like that one.
Yeah, that's. I think. Well, I would love to have the motion picture homage poster. But that's
that one
cool.
is a good one. Yeah,
That's
but that one's
cool
not
one.
bad though. I like that one.
No,
too.
not at all. Not at all.
Yeah.
It's nice. I mean, the other side is Doctor Who, Big Bang Theory, Star Trek Generations, and I'm talking about my room again.
No, it's a good angle. You haven't used this angle before. I like this.
No,
Both you
not
and
at all.
Sahel have changed your backgrounds.
Yes,
It's good. I'm yeah.
Yeah, well, wait till you see my next video, and then that's a totally different setup as well.
Oh,
like I
okay,
have props
cool.
in the table and stuff. I'm actually I did the well. I'm just like commercialing myself again.
That's totally allowed. But
Yeah.
Okay.
don't ever.
But since the Doctor is here, I've been doing today a Doctor Who season 10 review, like just the general thoughts about season 10. So you might be interested about that one, and you can see my full new setup.
Wow, cool.
No, I'm just remarking, Gary, that the Doctor's not very pleased with season 10.
The Time
Okay,
Traveler,
well,
yeah.
There's a show called Doctor Who, and then there's a show called The Time Traveler, and sometimes they cross over.
And the question is, will there be a show called Space Trek or Star
Yes,
Trek?
There's probably gonna be one.
That
I
remains
have a strange feeling there's gonna be one.
Remains to be seen. I'm holding out hope. I need a hero.
There we go.
I do.
So shall I read from the book or
Wait. So Gary,
Hang on. We just started to talk about
Gary
the
was
beginning
just-
of the episode.
Gary was just.
This is the beginning? Oh, I thought it was coming in at the end.
Wait, no,
Oh,
you're almost
damn.
at the end. We have a few
Oh.
more things. We have a few more topics to discuss. But Doc, since you're here,
Yeah.
we can tell Gary it live
Don't
in
don't refer to me as Doc.
Doc.
Kindly.
Wow.
Don't refer to me as Doc.
I really love though you have Lwaxana Troi over with you.
She's,
There we go.
wait,
I've
let's,
gone
and
around.
that's the dress from this episode. Wait, can you say something again?
Yeah, this is Oh,
Yeah,
let me
that's
hold her
exactly.
up. Is
I
it?
can't. You got to move her over because. Oh yeah, that's the dress from this episode.
Is it? This is the right one?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She looks like
She'll-
Mary Poppins.
Speaking, she goes through like 17 outfit changes, but I loved it. It was kind of cool. And there's an Entertainment Tonight special that I just posted on Twitter, which has Majel Barrett Roddenberry hosting. It's a segment about how women have progressed throughout the years, and they interview Nichelle Nichols in it, and and how like women's roles have changed on Star Trek over the years. And we're about to, this is the part of Star Trek that I do love immensely, is that with Star Trek Discovery, we're about to even cross some more barriers for equality in many, many ways, and representation of different types of humans on a TV show. So I'm excited about that. Anyway,
Fingers crossed.
yeah, a little plug for humanity and humanism, which are, I think, important to talk about when we're talking about Star Trek.
Or Space Trek.
Or Space Trek, whichever show we're watching. Doctor, since you haven't seen this episode, I'd like to refresh your memory that Ethan Phillips is in the episode. The actor who plays Neelix plays a mad scientist type, science officer aboard a
Dr.
Ferengi.
Farrak.
Yeah. And
Is it Ferengi?
Mm-hmm.
in this episode.
God, poor guy.
And I
He's
think
stuck in the worst makeups.
Well, except for in First Contact, where he's a hologram of himself.
Yeah, that was a nice change of pace for him.
I know. I bet these actors just love it when they don't have
I
to.
didn't even recognize him in First Contact at the beginning because he had a mustache.
That's right.
I was like, what?
That's right.
He used to be on this show called Benson. Do you remember?
That's right. Oh my gosh.
That's
we
how I
talked
remember.
about Benson. There's a lot of Star Trek
On Benson, yeah.
On Benson alumni on Star Trek.
Odo and Neelix.
Why did Star Trek never get Robert Guillaume?
I believe he fell ill at a certain point when he was doing that show Sports Night.
I didn't know that show.
I think he had throat cancer. It was on cable. It was like one of those. Man. And I don't know. Well, now I think he's passed away at this point. I think.
Oh yeah.
But I think for a while he had some kind of cancer, and he just. But he was a great actor. I loved Robert Guillaume. Oh my God, fantastic.
Gary, actor. Benson is way before your time. Do you know anything about it? Do you know anything about Benson?
No.
Well, Odo, Rene Auberjonois, started out on the show called Benson about governor. Well, Benson, the main character, started out as like an aide or something and became the lieutenant governor and then became the governor during the show. So it was like a comedy show about government, basically. What's that?
Butler Benson Dubois.
Oh, he started as a butler?
He was a butler on
Soap.
I think and see, it was a spinoff. That's the thing. Benson was a spinoff of Soap, and he was a butler there. And then he was sent over to the governor. Governor, I forget what the name of the governor is now. And then he started off as a budget director. Clayton Endicott was Odo. Yes.
I don't. Oh, that's Odo. Sorry, darn it. Yeah. I forgot.
Well, yeah, I'm just looking at Wikipedia, and it says Rene Auberjonois as Clayton Endicott III, Ethan Phillips
I remember
Downey,
it off the top of my head. That's crazy.
and Missy Gold is Katie Gatling, the governor.
Katie, oh my God!
Oh, Governor Gatling. That's what his name was.
Governor Gatling, right? And it had one of the
gun.
right, and it had one of the best cliffhangers, and it was completely unresolved. We never knew what happened.
I definitely have to look at this one, and it looks very interesting, actually.
It's pretty funny. I don't know if the situational comedy would hold up today, but I think it would. I remember some funny stuff.
Come on, we still watch things from the 60s and 70s.
It's true, we do.
The old.
I wonder if all these old shows are now on TV land. Anyways, we're really digressing from.
Yes, Lwaxana is coming to become the memory of something.
So yeah, there's that whole subplot and everything. And then we have, that's it. There's not much else. What else? Yeah, you should get the.
That's not true. I mean, we have Wesley. We haven't talked about Wesley.
Oh, we have to talk.
The rescue mission. What happened between Tog and Lwaxana? Because
forget about the rescue mission. There is an important event in Star Trek overall, which is that this is the episode where Wesley stops wearing his weird acting ensign jumpsuit and gets into a formal uniform because Captain Picard gives him a field promotion to the rank of ensign in this episode. So this is the last time we stopped seeing Wesley's sweaters in season 1. We stopped seeing Wesley's weird jumpsuit in season towards the end of season 3, and we get Wesley now in a Starfleet uniform.
Does anybody else wear that gray jumpsuit?
I only ever saw Wesley wearing it.
I don't recall anyone else.
I think this might be in the book, but I happen to know because I read about this just randomly while I was looking ahead of the season online. But General Cole, so on the behind the scenes, Gene Roddenberry gave Will Wheaton his, I think it's second lieutenant rank pins.
Yeah.
In a ceremony to mark in private to mark the occasion of Wesley's promotion, which probably meant more money for Will Wheaton as he was going to be I don't know if rank translates to more money for actors, but I imagine.
I don't think so. No.
Like a promotion. No, I don't know, but it should be. But regardless, it's pretty cool that Gene Roddenberry gave him those rank pips, and then apparently General Colin Powell was present during the filming of this episode, and he's a huge Star Trek fan. But he was there for Wesley's little ceremony.
Oh wow!
Yeah, that's cool, right?
Yeah,
see,
that
was
cool.
That was the worth the price of admission for you there, Doctor.
That's interesting.
Yeah, cool.
I didn't know Colin Powell was a Trekkie.
Yeah, I'm glad. That makes me so happy when I find out that our military commanders like Star Trek. The Picard maneuver is studied at West Point.
Yeah, okay. Now it's time to get the book. The book, ladies and gentlemen.
The Bible.
The Bible. What is the name of this episode? I don't even know what this episode is called.
Ménage Troi.
Okay. Wow, there's so many episodes left to go.
While you're looking for it, I have TrekCore pulled up, so I can read what their behind the scenes are.
Oh, that's him.
Huh?
That's Powell.
General Powell with LeVar Burton, and I'm not sure who's that over to the left there.
I think that's Powell's wife. I think.
Oh, very cool. Yeah.
Oh my God, they look so young. Holy shit.
That's your reaction to a picture of General Colin Powell on the set of Star Trek.
Yeah.
Holy shit, they look so young. I love it.
We have to make a T-shirt out of this.
That's pretty funny. Here's another.
Mr. Hom is in this episode.
Does that excite you?
Is that the last time we see Mr. Hom?
No, I don't think. Is it?
Because she changes manservants at some point.
Oh no. Here's another one for you, Doctor.
Wait a minute. When did this happen?
Sometime in the 90s.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, that's kind of famous picture,
Nancy and I were just curious to see what the set of the Enterprise looked like. So we went down there. I don't know. That's such a terrible wrong. Jean-Luc, go out there and win one for the Gipper. Do you remember?
that's like him in the back, was he?
What's that? There is a picture
that was Jean-Luc
on Instagram of Patrick Stewart with President Reagan, and he looks a little horrified standing next to him.
Oh my God!
I don't know if Patrick Stewart was a fan or not. Anyways, that's the end of my presentation.
Oh, I thought you were gonna show a picture. I was waiting for a picture of Picard and Reagan together. I was like,
I apologize. Go on.
Oh man!
No
wow, I was dying for that picture.
Damn it!
Okay, so this is let's see, anything interesting? Oh, this was directed by somebody from the visual effects department, Rob Legato. And it includes the first ever look at the Betazed surface. Betazed surface.
We do see,
Sorry.
and it is a Betazed.
Betazed. The Betazeds were filmed at the.
We find out how it's pronounced. Well, at least I did. I found out how it's pronounced.
The Betazed surface was filmed at the Huntington Library Botanical Garden in San Mariano, an LA suburb. The episode was thick with visitors, including Gene Roddenberry, since it was the first sale for his assistant Susan Sackett, and also the yearly vehicle for Gene Roddenberry's wife, Majel Barrett. And yeah, it says the same thing that you just said about Gene Roddenberry. I mean,
I must
Colin
have
Powell.
It must have been lifted from the book. My memory is of reading that information probably from the book or from.
It's his own ensign's bars that he earned in the U.S. Navy 30 years earlier. And General Colin Powell was on hand for the ceremony. Yep.
Pretty cool.
Nearly abandoned as adversaries, here the ferengi are developed even further in a tale recalled later by Lwaxana and DS9's The Forsaken.
So, like, the ferengi basically, yeah, one thing I am noticing is that we are, as we move... By the way, I think, doesn't DS9 launch this season? No. It's not until after the battle.
Yeah.
It's post Wolf.
The ferengi have a 4-node brain, which resists empathic contact by Betazeds and other races.
That's right.
Interesting.
Similar to how cows have 4 stomachs.
Which leaves Troi's earlier sensing of Bach's unexplained.
He had to be part something else. He might not have been a pure Ferengi.
There's a USS Bradbury in this, and of course it's named for Ray Bradbury.
Mm-hmm.
And the Cochrane distortion pays homage to the discoverer of the space warp, Zephram Cochrane. Oh, Grax knew that Lwaxana's first husband was not Troi's dad.
Oh.
Okay. That's all there is.
Thank you very much. That was awesome.
You have
some notes?
I have from well, not many notes. It's like behind the scenes from Trekcore. They mentioned one thing which I never thought about it, to be honest. The body doubles were used for the Barrett Curtis nude scene. So they used body doubles for the nude scene.
Well, they're not really naked. Aren't they? They're wearing blankets.
Well, yeah, after all, but I don't think they've been like fully naked. It's like I don't know. I don't think so.
Anyways, a body double was used. That's interesting. Is that it? That's all you have?
That's all about everything as the doctor has already said, so I don't want to repeat anything.
We've exhausted everything.
Although I did find a picture with Reagan and Patrick Stewart, so I don't know how can I share the screen if you want to see that.
I think if you go over to your to the
left
left
hand, green icon with the arrow.
Yeah, exactly.
If I do that, nice. Okay,
Whoa.
There we go.
Oh, okay.
Whoa,
that's Reagan and.
What? Yeah, where is that from?
That's the same.
I just randomly Googled it, to be honest. So I think that's
wow.
Yeah, and there was another one too. When all the
oh my god, look at that!
There, so it's very blurry, and I think it's really, really old as well. And there was one more, but then he looks a bit grim, to be honest, on that picture.
Oh.
He looks quite grim. Like it's like, oh, okay. It's like why I have to be there? I don't even know, but it's yeah.
He's probably wondering where Spock is.
Probably.
I don't understand where. Oh, poor Ronald Reagan. Yes. Aw.
Oh,
is
we're Reagan kids. Sorry.
We are Reagan kids, and he got Alzheimer's. It was really tragic. He really did not recall when he was at those hearings.
Yeah.
Anyways, I learned 2 things from President Reagan, which have helped me immensely in great negotiating situations. And no, I'm just kidding. This is a joke I always tell. But plausible deniability is one of the greatest gifts Ronald Reagan gave to humanity in general. Sorry.
Nobody could plausibly deny better than Reagan.
Yes.
Say that much.
And so I have taken the lessons of my youth to heart.
You have a singular wit, Doctor.
Yes. Anyways, Gary, I'm sorry. That was a little too much of a blast from the past there. But that was for the Doctor. Okay, so I guess we should come to the part where we rate this episode. Now, Doctor, you're totally allowed to rate the episode based on memory.
No, I exempt myself. I didn't watch it.
I do have a few questions, but do you remember watching it the first time at all? Do you remember anything about this episode based on what we've been talking about?
I know I saw it, but I have no real concrete memories of it now. Well, it's totally unmemorable. And I know I didn't like it, so I just didn't. It's just not my cup of tea. It's not what I watch Star Trek for. It's just I don't care.
But that's the beauty of beauty of a series is you know when
she's looking for a husband again, right?
No.
She's looking for a husband for Deanna.
For Deanna.
See, there's always it's that or the other. I don't care. I really don't care. I really wish you had found a husband for her and taken her away. I mean, that's what I wish.
Oh. Okay, anyway, so we know the Doctor's probable rating is a 0. All right, Gary.
But isn't it the same with all the Lwaxana episode, Doctor?
No, there is one that I like that I think is very good, which is the one where it's gonna sound terrible. Is the one where we find out that she had a miscarriage.
Oh my god! Which one is that? Have we gotten to that yet?
That's season 6 or 7.
Oh,
yeah, it's later on. I actually thought that was a fantastic episode.
That is.
Oh, cool. Well, that'll be the Lwaxana episode.
Because it's there's drama. It's not just the same old. And the first one was entertaining.
What about
the first one's entertaining?
What about the DS9 one? Do you like her on that?
The one with Odo and the Odo's like disintegrating in the bucket, and no, he disintegrates into her dress. Oh god, that was a bad one. I hated that one.
But I love that there's stupid. I'm happy to hear that there's 2 episodes that you one you like, and then one you're like it's all right.
Yeah,
that's not bad considering there's only probably like 4 or 5 episodes with her in them. So, I do think that it is. I think it's great that Majel Barrett plays Lwaxana Troi, but knowing that she's not around as a performer anymore, it would have been nice to see her donning a captain's uniform or something like that. But that's just like a fan wish.
I think she should have come back as number 1 from.
I know. It would have been great. Nice.
That would have been cool. Yeah, that would have been very
for Space Trek.
For Space Trek.
Star Trek: The Cage counts as Star Trek. Deep origin.
Before we go to the rating, I just happened to open this thing up. Is there an alien from the planet Algol in this episode?
An Algonian.
I think the one who plays
he's playing
the music. Is it?
Dun, 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 dun.
Okay. This is really off topic here. Okay. In Chicago, there's a lot of things called zines, and people these are just things that people make on their own. They've been happening since the 70s, for a long time, but they really took off in the 70s.
Like fan fictions, fan magazines, is it?
Yeah, like a fan magazine, right?
Can we talk about the zine that we're involved with?
Yeah, sure, of course. Of course, ours is much better than this.
Okay, go.
Hang on. Go on.
But one that Emma found for me, and it's actually about season 3 of Next Generation, and it was written back in the 90s. It's by some guy called Joshua Chapman, copyright 1992. And what he does is it's a field guide to all the aliens that are seen in season 3.
Why have you not been using this throughout the?
Oh, because Emma just gave it to me.
Like right
my
now.
last trip.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
my last trip to Chicago, and I opened it up, and this is in black and white, but there's a picture of this thing, and I'm like, what is this? And so this kid, by the way, he rates. I don't know if this rating is the alien or the episode, but the rating is 2 stars. and he says, this alien stands around at the back of a party playing an unnecessarily complicated chime xylophone thing. It is like 6 feet long, but they just play 4 notes over and over for the whole party.
It's ingrained in my head. I've had that song in my head since this episode aired in the 90s. Like, it's never left me.
That's more reason. Don't now.
More reason to warn people away from this episode. They're a pretty lame alien. They are a pretty lame alien?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, they're a pretty lame alien, but that makes sense because this is an episode with Troy's mom, and those are always the worst.
Oh, no.
Oh gosh.
This is straight from 1992, folks. Sometimes I think it makes sense that Troi is the worst person on the Enterprise because her mom is so annoying. But then I think about how my mom is a bitch.
Oh my gosh.
And I am not like that, so that is no excuse.
Wow.
All my mom does is lay around and watch TV and talk shit about people. She is always getting mad at me for BS reasons just because she is unhappy. If I had Deanna's mom and I was psychic, there is no way I would turn out as lame as her.
Wow.
This whole thing is
oddly,
filled.
that was oddly personal and cathartic, yet it resonates with this episode. It's actually that's
you
strange.
should. There's some other good ones that.
This was a zine that was distributed in Chicago, or do you know where? Where was it?
Yes,
like, do you know anything?
Chicago.
So Joshua Chapman, I have no idea if you exist still, but if you happen to chance upon this episode of Starfleet Boy, please contact us. Or if anyone out there knows who Joshua Chapman of this zine is, I think we'd love to pay tribute to you further. This is kind of awesome.
There's some really great insight into some of these aliens here. It's really good. This is from we all did Allegiance, right?
Yes.
Okay. You remember
it's online too.
The alien that surrenders to everybody?
Yes.
Okay. So he gets 3 stars.
Oh,
These aliens are supposed to be really smart, but the one we meet is kind of stuck up about it too. They consider themselves to be very peaceful and to not have any enemies, but other aliens seem to think that these guys are just cowards who don't put up any resistance when they get invaded. Earlier this year, I got mugged on my way to school, and somebody tried to steal the Walkman I just got for my birthday.
Oh, shit.
Oh.
I begged the guy not to take it, and I promised him I would leave money for him at the bus stop the next day. But then I just started taking a different bus to school. When I told my teachers about it, they said it was very smart not to try and fight him, that a Walkman is not worth getting injured over. But I don't think being smart had anything to do with it. I was way too scared to even think about fighting that guy. He was wearing a big puffy jacket, and some of the kids at school said that people wear jackets like that so that they can hide sawed-off shotguns underneath them.
Oh, shit.
Wow.
Oh, my God.
This is great, man. I love this little zine, man. It's great.
Oh, my gosh. It's like a time capsule of the 90s in Chicago.
It is.
Wow.
It is. And then they I'm sorry, I have to read one more.
Okay, can you show us the alien though? I want to see.
Yeah, this is these are the aliens that kidnap them.
Yes, I definitely want to.
And he's got a picture of their butts. He gives them 2 stars. He doesn't know the name of the alien. These are aliens who kidnap Picard and lock him in a room with some other aliens. And also, they send a doppelganger to take Picard's place in the Enterprise. These aliens say that they communicate psychically and that they are all identical, and they did these things to better understand behavior and concepts like authority. But apparently, they have already kidnapped some other aliens to discover seduction techniques, because the fake Picard totally puts the moves on Dr. Crusher.
Wow.
And then he sings suspiciously. Other things about these aliens are that they have giant heads with crazy nostrils, and that they wear very tight pants that make their butts stand out.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, I can't
Doctor,
read anymore.
For $10, you can get all 7 seasons of the field guide to the aliens of Star Trek: The Next Generation, seasons 1 through 7.
From Joshua Chapman?
Yes, it's online. There's a website called
God.
Antiquated Future. Here, I'm going to share my screen here.
Can you share that?
I'm so compelled by this.
I'm going to get it.
This is a great find.
Wow.
I'll send you the link. Hold on, let me present to everyone. If you enjoyed the Field Guide to Aliens of Star Trek: The Next Generation season 3 as much as we did, there's 1 through 7, which we're gonna have to acquire now for our show.
Wow.
I'm gonna see if there's a way to reach out to Joshua Chapman. It's so cool, but that's definitely gonna go into the library. Okay. Very cool. So I'm really excited about this episode now. All of a sudden, it's like we just found something new and cool.
Yeah.
Thank you, Emma, once again. So on that note, I know we try to keep the episodes, well within a time frame, but I'd like to say that we're involved with a zine with Emma. It's the Milky Way Malt Shop, and we only have 1 issue right now.
Do you have one there? Or should I run get one?
No, I have it. Hold on. Oh, no. Okay, you talk about it while I go get it. Oh, you're going to go get it. Okay. He's going to go get it. So, Gary, do you know what the Milky Way Malt Shop is?
What should I what?
The Milky Way Malt Shop. Do you know what that is?
Never heard of it.
Way back in the day when the doctor and I were just young communicators growing up on the mean streets of Miami, we started a website called the Milky Way Malt Shop, and it was just a place where myself, the doctor, and some of our friends posted short stories and poetry and things like that.
Is it still online?
No, but you can go to archive.org and type in the milkywaymaltshop.com, and it'll show you what it looked like throughout those years that it was archived. Anyways, it was the early frontier days of the internet, deep space internet, and it blew up. Like all of a sudden, we had so many authors from all over the world writing, and it was quite a comprehensive website with lots and lots of submissions, and we had a cool thing. But unfortunately, as time passed and we became more adults and had responsibilities and things like that, we couldn't keep up the high cost of maintaining a website, especially since like things started to change directions in the internet. And it was a very interesting, cool time. Anyways, the Malt Shop is now archived in paper format, so we can always somehow put it back online. But then a new version of the Malt Shop rose from the ashes of the Malt Shop Phoenix, and it's a zine that Emma, our friend Emma, a doctor's special friend Emma, has worked on. Go ahead, doctor. You got to say something to show it. Are you talking? Whatever. You did something and we can't hear you now. The doctor is unavailable by audio. Maybe you just make sure you plug those headphones in all the way.
Okay, now he's muted.
Oh, you're muted. No, unmute. Oh, geez, for crying in the night. What did you do? Oh, you know,
It happens with me all the time, so it's fine.
I know there's always a technical difficulty on Starfleet Boy. If you go up to the little settings tab up there, and you click and make sure your audio is coming from the Snowball microphone. Yeah, it is, right? Oh no! Oh! I don't know. We can't hear the doctor. I'm gonna go get my copy of the malt chop. Hang on, everybody. Anyways, here is the print edition. Oh,
okay, nice.
There you go. Print edition of the Milky Way Malt Shop. It's a pretty cool zine, and inside, we'll just show you. It's beautifully illustrated, and
those are handwritten. The introduction and stuff. Oh no, that's a proper.
Right.
Wow, nice.
No, it's all designed. All of this work is Emma's work.
Wow.
Yeah, she's really great. There's like a cool installation piece in here where it's interactive. Nice. You can actually pull this out. Yep. And more illustrations that match the written work. Oh, I like one more. Hold on. The doctor's so proud right now. He's just like can't speak. He's muted, but he's like, you can see his expression there. All right, and here, look at that one.
Wow.
Yep. Which, by the way, this is written by the doctor's brother, if I'm not mistaken. Yep.
All right. All credit to the doctors and family.
All right, so we don't have the doctor, but it doesn't matter because his rating doesn't count. We're gonna wrap up this episode. Gary, what's
zero is count?
What's your rating for this episode?
I'm gonna give it a oh gosh, I don't know, 9.5.
Wow, 9.5 stars. Oh my god!
But I don't know why. I don't know why I won't give like 10 or something. No. My god!
Come on, just 9.5 stars. Explain yourself a little bit. You're giving the doctor a heart attack, by the way.
I didn't mean that.
Convulsion over there. He's holding on to the Troi figure. I don't know what's going on. Anyways.
No, I didn't really have any problem with this episode. I think probably 9.5 because we still stuck with Wesley for one more year, and it's okay. It's fine.
So I agree that there's a few touching moments in the episode. I also like the slapstick comedy and like some of the gags. And we didn't talk about one where the original script, when she hands Riker that piece of lettuce in the episode and she's like, eat this. It was supposed to be like a zucchini with veins on it, and he was supposed to take a bite out of that. So that was
I like that.
That was what Gene Roddenberry wrote into it. Anyways, there's lots of innuendo, lots of gags. Look at your face, Doctor. It's so expressive. I love it. Anyways, there's innuendo and gags, and we get just a fun time. But for me, I think of rewatchability as like an important factor when I'm giving these ratings. And while if it happens to be on television, like I probably won't change the channel, but I don't think I would go out of my way to watch this episode over and over again. There's not much to remember or
no, I do love the feeling when at the end, Captain Picard says like warp 9. And when Lwaxana ends up in the bridge and she basically, I don't know, it's just such an adorable scene, the end scene, and I don't know, it just gives me that special Star Trek feeling. I know it's there in many multiple ways in many other episodes and in a better way, but I don't know, these little tidbits from the episodes that just, I don't know, just energizes me sometimes with some Trek feeling.
To 9.5 stars.
9.5.
And I will give this Doctor's Waiting 6 stars. It gets 6 stars. I know yours is 0, but sorry, it's gonna get 6 stars. So this is a 6-star episode for me, and that's it. Bob's your uncle, as they say. Mute Doctor and Gary, it's been so much fun talking to you guys. Thanks for joining me on another episode. And as always, thank you to our audience for joining along. And have a wonderful day. Live long and prosper, and peace and long life. See you next time.